We can talk about Threads. We can talk about anything.
Legit, the worst app ever. Like it's just basically shit Twitter, is how you describe it.
I love it. I'm all about it. I feel like it's separated the new kids and the old kids will stay on Twitter and the new kids will move to Threads.
It's basically, for those watching at home, it's Twitter with less tits, is how I describe it at the moment, which makes it better in a way. But I just find the feed pants. Like, I'm not getting any good feed.
Well, it's been 2 days. But that's the point. You've got to create it. You have the power of like making the feed what it is.
Spurs, but it's a shit Twitter. Let's be honest. Bring Twitter back. Make Twitter great again.
All right. Good morning, guys. Happy Saturday. It's 10 a.m. It is the 8th of July, 2023. Welcome to BA Saturdays. I love this because it's just chill. We're just hanging out. There is no agenda. We are just going to hang out and talk, reflect, look back. We can pull up old videos. I think that was fun last week. But let us know who's here. Glenn's always here. Pom. Well, Pom's here. Hey, Pom.
He's second most appeared. He's Glenn.
Glenn, yeah. Maya, Oscar says hello, Pom.
Hey up, Oscar.
Joseph El Mualem. Salam. Paul Hill. Kurt. We love Kurt. Ur. Good morning, Ur. Pom, can you say Ur's name?
Oh, come on. Poms can't do that with their tongue. That's why my missus isn't always happy.
Okay.
Unedited beer Saturdays. Pom's filter comes on about 1 o'clock.
My fault. Giuseppe. Chills. A birthday breakfast in bed from the kids in BA Saturday. You can't beat that. Chills. Happy birthday. Amazing. Happy birthday, thank you for being here on your own birthday. Wow.
Breakfast in bed as well with the from the kids. You've done well with your kids, I tell you.
Yeah.
It's good work.
Anthony, hello. Glenn as well. Loves it. Gets in early. Gets the first comment. Rowan Vertigan. Rowan, I'm going to put Rowan in OG territory. I've seen Rowan's name for many, many years. What's up,
I'm pretty
Rowan?
sure he was in chat like when we first ever did on that old shitty platform.
Yeah. With the green and yellow, like pasty. Yeah. Christian. Hey, mate. Marco. Josh White. Morning, Terry. Morning, Josh. Morning, Pom. Kate from New Zealand. We love this. Are there anybody else who's tuned in right now that's not in Australia? Because I love it. I live for it.
They are. Kia ora kete pai here, queer. See? Kate. Cultured.
Wow.
I lived in New Zealand for 6 months.
Wow.
I can mix it with the best of them.
Love it. Well, Maya has fired the first shot. Let's go. Pom, how you feeling about the third Ashes game?
Oh, mate. It's tighter than a frog's bum at the moment, isn't it? So it's teetering. We're in a winnable position, but it's teetering. What's the lead now? It's something ridiculous. It's like coming up to 200. Oh, with 4 wickets. Poms can do it. Bringing them home, because I actually reckon the Ashes is technically cheating. 142, 6 wickets in the shed. We can get you out for 200. Poms will be fine, because it should be the north of England versus Australia. We'd win.
Wow, I now know what it feels like to hear a Carlton supporter talk.
You know what? We were doing a watch along last night with the members, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some of the members were picking on me for being blind confident with England, and I'm like, this is what I do every day on Blue Abroad that you back me for. Like, it's my endearing quality, and now it's a bad one.
You'll watch the fickleness arise when you become an enemy real quick. The internet's undefeated, mate. That's what it is. What have we got? Rowan, no, we would never get rid of you, mate. Chills wants to talk about the supposed nude photo leak in the best 23. I don't know. I think we might just let that one slide.
Yeah, but some of them players are debatable footballers. If you see the leak, like that would be like my nudes being leaked and Mitch Cleary going. He technically does an AFL YouTube show though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a fascinating story. Fascinating story. Oh, by the way, shout out to the Navy Blue Corner boys. They actually gave me this T-shirt a while back. I haven't worn it yet. What a great design. Thought I'd wear this today. Just to show it off.
Lockie and Ian.
Lockie and Ian. Yeah. Go and check them out because they are real ones. They are seriously real ones. They've been in the game for a while now. And I genuinely really like the design. I think it's very clever. So I'm also very cold, so I'm going to put a jumper on. But go and check out Navy Blue Corner. And yeah, so this morning, what we're going to do is really just hang out and just talk a bit about the footy, talk about like non-Carlton. We could talk about Carlton, got some stats to pull up, got some issues to raise. We might even watch some old fan cams if anybody's interested. Just kind of, we'll let the chat dictate a little bit more in today, as opposed to having too much of an agenda. I've got a bit of a skeleton of what we could talk about if it gets a bit dry. We should also probably play the Stategories game, Pom, because last week was a disgrace, an absolute disgrace.
It was Carlton versus St Kilda-esque.
Yeah, it was. So let's start with this. I want to ask a question to everyone, right? We all watched the footy last night, or we all know the scores. I wanted to ask, who are the teams right now that you categorize as locks for the top 8? Locks.
La 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 la. Elmo's World. Well, I mean, Pies and Port, like underline them.
Okay.
You have to underline them. Like,
fair enough. Brisbane, Melbourne.
Brisbane have got a few home games, so yeah, they're locked. Melbourne, I think, are interesting. Like, I think they are probably the last lock in there, but Melbourne have looked shaky, haven't they? They've had some. They're just like very hit and miss. They can be the best side in the league or the worst side. Like that GWS game last week, the Geelong game the week before.
Yes,
just a bizarre thing I think to watch at the moment from them.
Yeah.
But St Kilda fraudulent, Dogs frauds, Adelaide, they're like Guinness, they don't travel outside. Essendon, Geelong old, Richmond emotion, GWS would smash them. Freo, once we beat, I mean, honestly, not being massive, I think only 4 of them sides deserve to be in the 8.
Yeah, well, it's so interesting, right? Because I genuinely believe from St Kilda down, it's kind of like they've all had their patch. I mean, look, the Saints, fair play. Well done. Great start to the year. They have started to show some signs, right? They've started to show some signs of just a little bit of coming back to the pack. The Dogs, they're solid. I think they're good without being great. We saw last night, just the Pies were just too good for them. The Crows, great at home, great start to the year, but again, there's a little something about them. The Bombers, how far ahead of us are the Bombers?
Well, I mean, I don't think they are. I think results, obviously, you've got to give them, they've had a better season, but you know what annoys me about this is just go to 14th.
Okay.
Right. And you see this all the time. Essendon have gone ahead of Carlton. Adelaide have gone ahead of Carlton. You want your bumps feeling if you can look me in the eye and say Essendon are a better football side than Sydney.
True.
Sydney are just having massive issues I said it at the start of the preseason. Massive issues with that loss in the grand final. It takes it out of you. So I think Essendon have just benefited. We've seen it before. People don't talk about it, and we kind of ignore it because we felt it. New coaches change everything.
Yeah.
Change everything. But you've got to see when Carlton play their best versus Essendon play their best, there is no comparison. The problem is fair play to Essendon. Very simple game plan, and it's worked. Do you know what I mean? Sydney, they'll get it right next year. Do you know what I mean? Because I think Horse is too clever and smart to let them be like that. But I would say everyone's talking about Carlton having a shit year. Sydney have got away with it. Like, Sydney were
correct
in the grand final.
Well, you and I did this just before we went live. These are the teams I'm looking at right now that I would say, outside looking in, who would say there would be below expectations. Now, clearly Carlton at this point right now, no worries. Sydney, clearly. Fremantle, clearly. I would even go as far to say Geelong, clearly. And if you have a look, we are one game behind Geelong. Obviously, we've played the same amount of games. They're going to play North. That's probably going to be a win. The ones that have I think exceeded expectation. I think Gold Coast are kind of thereabouts. We'll leave them. Richmond, maybe we'll leave them. I think the Giants can be pretty proud of where they're at the moment. I think they've had a pretty good second half of this patch of games that they've had. Clearly, the Bombers would be wrapped with where they're at right now. The Crows would be stoked. The Saints would be stoked. I think the Dogs are kind of exactly where they would hope to be at this point in the year. I just see, maybe I'm just biased to Carlton, but I just see so much opportunity with 8 games left.
Well, I mean,
like,
Saints,
it's so alive.
Saints are probably sat at home now thinking the world's a simulation, being 5th. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like if any Saints fan had them in the 8, mental. But no, you're right. Like, look, when we beat 3-0, we leapfrog Fremantle.
Well, let's just do this. Let's just, mate.
Let's do the predictor. Oh, no, Terry, you brought me in.
I'll reset them all. We'll start again. So, we're only going to do it 1 week at a time. So, do we all agree that maybe we'll let the chat decide? The Lions will beat the Eagles. Who are you tipping? I'm just going to do it for us. Yeah,
that's a bye.
Okay, chat. GWS or Hawthorn? Let us know in the chat, and I will tip according to how you tip in the chat.
Giants.
Tom, who are you tipping?
Giants.
Lock. Hawthorn can't do it.
I love Hawks, but tired legs.
Okay. All right. St Kilda, Melbourne at Marvel.
D's.
The D's? All right. Give the chat 30 or more seconds.
They're going to have a slogan, no Clary, no problem. What is wrong with Clary? You know, we talked about Clayton Oliver last week, and we said every week he's out, the rumours get better.
Yeah.
You know, I saw a Reddit forum today who said, I didn't tell you this. When any rumour begins with, it didn't come from me, you know it's a good rumour. But after it was like, AFL are clamouring to keep it under wraps because he's the new Ben Cousins. And I'm like, from a fucking groin strain, this is massive in 3 weeks.
Okay, we'll tip the D's. Port Adelaide, Gold Coast at Adelaide Oval. I can't see. I mean, again, let the chat do its thing. A lot of Port Adelaide, fair. Then we go Geelong North at GMHBA. Is that just...
Go Cats!
That's just an easy one, I think.
We'll be cheering on North. When's Clarkson's first game in the dressing room?
I don't know.
Is it this week or next?
I have no idea.
Because that'll be a win when Clarkson's back.
So the Cats... next week. This is such an important game. Essendon and Adelaide.
Ranking Rochelle power.
You think the
see
Crows
a cool
can do
celebration? Text to wind back the clock. Go Crows.
So let's have a look. Anthony and Ralph and Rowan have tipped the Crows. Jay is going the Bombers. So that's 3-1. 3-2, Brian. 4-2.
I've got to give
5-2,
Jay it.
6-2.
Jay's probably done that with no bias.
All right. A lot of Crows.
I rate it,
A lot of Crows. So, okay, just updating how we all feel. Now, let's just say if Freo win, we're dead, right? That's it. Pack it up. Fan cams, nuke it. We're dead, right? But if we win, this is what it looks like.
That a win outside the 8.
Wow. A win against Freo puts us one game out of the 8.
And look, GWS, Pish Bucket, Essendon, Pish Bucket, Geelong, Old, Dogs, Temperamental, St Kilda. Do you know what I mean? Tune into St Kilda Fan TV because you're just going to see a lot of Jake crying in a car park, right? Legit. They're on the way out. Honestly, they are out of there like one of my exes. That's how far they are out of it. They are down. Sliding, free falling.
All right, I'm going to put a poll up on YouTube and ask you guys if you want to go all the way through to the season, do the whole season. So just let me know yes or no, and we can do that.
Terry, it's dangerous because I'm already getting excited. We've done a round.
No, because like I feel like I get told to tone it down. Where I'm just like I'm competitive and I'm like if there's a chance, there's a chance we can do it. And I feel like people don't want to believe that it's a chance, but it is.
No, I feel you. Mate, I like being hurt.
I'm ready, willing and able, mate. Nothing can hurt. Nothing can hurt like round 23 last year. People don't realize we're free. We have been freed, mate. There's nothing that's going to hurt more than that. You know?
Terry has taken that blue pill. No, I'm with you, Terry. No, I'm with you. I mean, you can't fully enjoy something if you don't submit to it. So I'm with you. Like, look at that. I mean, that ladder there, if you didn't know about our form, you'd believe.
Yeah.
If them 4 games in a row didn't happen, you'd have full confidence.
Right. All right. So 34 votes, 86 watching. 82% of you say yes. Is that enough to end it and say that that's what the majority want to do?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, okay, fair. I'm going to end the poll. What I'm also going to do is there's a new little feature here on YouTube. Start a Q&A. So if you have a specific question. Oh, wait, what's the question? I don't understand how this works.
The question should be, how many times by round 18 are you going to post percentage? Because I can already feel it. I can already feel it coming back.
All right. So we're tipping it. All right. So let's go to round 18. Oh, this is great. This is so dangerous. Sydney, the Dogs at the SCG. Are Sydney going to find something? Are they going to find a little something?
I can't imagine Horse will let them fold. I mean, I'd tip Sydney there, but they are so bad at the minute, and the Dogs need to win. But we will be cheering on Sydney for us, but I'll leave that to chat. I'm torn. Yeah. On paper, Sydney should win that.
Yeah, chat. What have you got? I don't know. I mean, they've got to have a little something in them. I can't just see them continuing to lose. I mean, it can happen. Of course it can. I just feel like at the SCG, that'll get them there. And then the Ds and the Lions, I typically feel like the Ds at the G, just in general, is the tip.
I think it's a fair call. I mean, Brisbane have improved at the G, but I'd imagine Melbourne, it has to come into it, doesn't it? Your intelligence and your finals experience, and they've only recently won a flag. Like at this stage, you've got to put these games away. You imagine that comes in.
Yeah. Same one. No, the chat will tip. The chat will tip. Collingwood at the MCG. Can we just talk about Collingwood for a minute? Ugh, they're so good. It hurts.
They are impressive. That never say die attitude.
Yeah.
Belief.
It hurts. It hurts, mate. They're so good. They're so
I do want Collingwood and Port. I think that's the best case scenario for Carlton. Collingwood and Port remain unbeaten until we play each other.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed wholeheartedly. So the Suns and the Saints at Heritage Bank Stadium.
Saints should be good enough to do that.
Really?
I don't trust the Suns. Like, I don't rate them. I think they are a fraudulent. I'd love to tip the Suns, though, because it helps us. But I think Saints will win that one.
All right. Chat. Saints, Suns. So Nicole says the Saints. George, Suns. All right, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Suns. It's 4, 5.
Jesus.
2 people have tipped the Saints. 3 people.
If they lose that, they are free falling. I'm. If they lose to Saints, I will spend all at post game on St Kilda's fan cams just spamming the comment, "Are we tanking for Harley Reid?" ?
I think the chat have said the Suns for the most part.
Yeah, Suns have romped that one in. I'll back chat in
because I also think they'll make a little break. I can see it all squeezing up a little bit more with the Swans and the Suns having a bit of a run. Tuke Miller's back as well, so that's going to be a nice little injection for them. Then at this point, Port Adelaide would have won. Wait, how many have they won right now? 12 in a row?
Yeah, 13, 14. So this would be going for their 14th in a row against us.
14 in a row? 14 in a row against us. We would be the 14th team in a row. I mean, talk about a team due for a loss. Also, I'll just make the case for Carlton. Nobody in the league knows the intel of Port Adelaide as well, the inside of Port Adelaide, as well as what Michael Voss does.
At Marvel as well, where the boys seem to like playing under Vossi. You know, pressure, lots of wins.
Tell me I'm crazy.
Mate, lots of wins in a row.
Yeah.
Midfield probably better. By that stage, Pitternet and TDK should be raring to go. Port Adelaide by 22.
Call me... Call me crazy. Call me crazy, but it's possible. And I will happily tip Port if the chat go Port. Like, we're not here to just like make this good for Carlton, but
no, mate, it's possible. It's possible. It is possible.
Oh,
do I think we can do it? Maybe, because we did it last year. We could do it again. But Port are pretty impressive.
Let's just tip Port. How about that?
we could be ninth, Terry. That is the game. For me, that is the game. Freo, don't worry me. If we lose that, we don't even deserve to be having the conversation.
Yeah, correct.
The Port one, that's the one that intrigues me because that's the one that every question I have about these boys will be asked this game. Like the media will suddenly know they win, they're in finals, and look at the ladder, how it looks there. That says you're in control. So suddenly the whole messaging flips in the media. Carlton are in control of their destiny, and that's when I question this group when they think they're in control and they think there's extra pressure.
Man. I'm going to stop here because we're just not going to go any further. It's all about the next 2 weeks. It's all about tomorrow.
Well, the week after that, we got Eagles, haven't we?
Do we?
Yeah.
Let's just say this for a minute. No. We're going to stop this now.
Terry, look.
This is
In the
getting
8, bruh. In the 8.
No, I'm just saying. It's not over. And that probably goes to show the state of the competition, because we have been fucking putrid, mate, for the most part. I think winning three of the first 4 gave us a little bit of wriggle room, and then we went and just, wasted that wriggle room completely. But we have been putrid, and we are still pretty close to being in the hunt. Just in the hunt, just in the conversation. And sometimes all you need to be is in the conversation to make it.
Mate, just need an inkling. I mean, one of my mates gave me some solace. I think it was the St Kilda game, he said, the fan cam. And I dropped something that's helped him through this, saying, I'd rather have a shit start to the year and have your 8-2 in the back end. And by accident, year-old Pom has given him some belief that we're going to sail into finals. But this is now where you really put your effort in. This is now where you put your effort in and try and. This is where it matters, really. The first games are the warm-up. This is like literally now you're in the heat of the battle. And like you say, Carlton do that. They beat Port. Suddenly, that's the pressure on them. And we felt that pressure last year, didn't we? When teams started to come nearer us and that gap got smaller. So you look at the ladder as it is now, Doggies are shitting themselves. St Kilda are shitting themselves. Geelong are shitting themselves. People say Carlton can only lose 2 games. They're thinking the same mentality, right? And what's good for us is you go to next week, all of our games are Sunday and Saturday. So we know what to do. We have the advantage because, do you know what I mean? At that stage there, look, Essendon have probably beaten the Dogs or the Dogs have beaten them. We know what to do. Makes it a little bit easier, but it's a big ask. If they do it, I'd say it's more impressive than the 8-2 start.
No doubt. I did promise we'd go all the way, but we'll try and do this a little bit more efficiently. The Bombers and the Dogs at Marvel on a Friday night.
This Friday night.
That's massive. Dogs. I think I would tip the Dogs there. Richmond Hawthorn at the MCG.
So the G in it.
Mm-hmm.
Out of nowhere, Sam Mitchell masterclass. Mitch Lewis kicks 6. Shades of Dynasty Hawks.
Wow. Okay. We're going to beat the Eagles. I think.
We're in the 8.
Brisbane, Geelong at the Gabba. Will Geelong make a run at this point? Surely.
Geelong, they've got the experience, but Gabba, I think.
What was that?
Brisbane.
Yeah, you're cutting out a little bit, but I heard you say Brisbane. This would be season on the line type stuff for both of them, if it wasn't already. Freo or Sydney?
Sydney.
Really? You think Freo's going to drop off and be a bit of a disappointing finish?
I don't trust Freo. I don't trust them. I think they're weaker than people give them credit for.
Okay. Chat, what do you got? What did the chat say?
I have a feeling one more loss and Horse does what he did the year before and he throws the kids out. He throws the juniors out and says, right, we're building for next year. And I think that'll give them a little bit of a impetus. But I don't trust Freo. They don't score enough, which is an issue.
Yep. So, Brian, the team on the left is the home team. The team on the right is the away team. So, all right, we'll go a little bit of Sydney action. I'll keep their season alive. Port Adelaide, Collingwood at Adelaide Oval. What a game this will be.
Tie of the round, probably of the season. Port.
All right. Giants, Suns, Manuka Oval.
It's a tough place to go, but I reckon Sydney, GWS.
Okay. Melbourne, Adelaide at the MCG.
Demons.
St Kilda, North at Marvel. That'll be the Saints, surely. They're gonna slip up. It's gonna come. I know it.
Whenever what's his face comes back, Clarkson though, that's North's win. That'll give them the impetus. But
it'll absolutely be this game.
But if it's that game, it's that game. It's that game. But nah, I think St Kilda will win it on paper.
Okay. Okay. So at the start of round 20, this is what it would potentially look like. Okay. The Crows made a bit of a run. The Dogs dropped a little bit in form. Geelong is sort of hovering. We're hovering. The Bombers have fallen off a bit.
But they'll come back.
They will come back. I don't care. I can't. Of course, I want to tip us, but like I just can't tip. Can't. We've shown nothing to suggest that we can beat Collingwood yet.
Terry,
so until we do that,
Terry, the narrative in this game. Look,
the narrative.
They knocked us out of finals last time.
Yes,
they're unbeaten. The high of Port Adelaide. The first chink in Collingwood's armour, Port lose. They come to Carlton. Carlton, the memories of round. This is your chance to stick the dagger in, boys. This is your chance to fucking make them ask the question: are we good enough? Collingwood by 38.
Yeah. No, I just can't. I would love to be surprised and shocked. And if it were to happen, the scenes on this fucking channel and in this just entire Carlton community would be unbelievable. But I just can't. I just can't.
I do have belief though that they could do it, but it'd be tough.
Correct. But for the purpose of this exercise, I'll tip Collingwood. But you can't keep losing to Collingwood twice in a season. You can't let that happen. You have to at least split the games.
This is why there's something wrong with us. Look, even though we know it's unlikely, we're convincing ourselves it's happening.
No, I think also, to be fair, we've given us the Port game. So, all right, Collingwood. Now, Geelong, Freo at GMHBA. Wow, Freo, are we really feeling like they're going to fall off? Like to this point, really?
They're a solid side, but like they don't win clearance, even though they dominate hitouts. I just feel I feel like they're a good side, but I feel in the finals when they come against teams playing finals, I think the brand is so weak that good sides will beat them, and Geelong will smash them.
All right. This would be, yeah. So the Doggies and the Giants at Mars. I'd probably lean to the Doggies on that.
Yeah, this is where experience comes in. This is probably where our weakness is. Teams now know how to do it.
Mm-hmm. Gold Coast, Lions, Heritage Bank. This is to keep the Sun season alive.
Yeah, Brisbane.
Really?
Josh Dunkley to kick about 8. Dew will get sacked this game. Pomco.
Yeah, true. Yeah, because there's a bit of pressure on him there.
Hardwick announced the week after.
Chat, what have you got? Lions, Brisbane, Lions. All right, Lions. This is where I think the Bombers will win because we've had them sliding a bit, and I think they'll make a bit of a rise again.
They have played 2 of the top 4, though, but this is now their territory. Putting pressure on. Oh, look at that. Carlton Essendon fighting for 8th.
Adelaide Port at Adelaide Oval. Did Adelaide win the first one?
Yeah. Okay, and everyone said I was mad when I called it at the start of the year. I reckon they win this one as well.
You think they'll win both showdowns in a season?
I think Port are brilliant, but I just think Adelaide, when they're like Ben Stokes when he's got a reason. I reckon Adelaide will look at this and I think they'll win. Don't know why, but Ranky, I think they've got more showtime players.
Interesting. Because I think Port will kind of bounce it back and let's have a look. What did the chat say? Christian, Port. Andy says Port. Bugs Bell, Hardwick to coach Port. Jay, Adelaide home games are very tough. They are. George, Wannis, Adelaide, Xander, Adelaide, Luca.
Telling you, Rankin
Port.
Rochelle.
All right. All
Port.
right. I'll back you guys in. You guys say Port, Adelaide? Yeah, fair. Nah, look, they've proven themselves, I think, Adelaide, especially at home. But I'm
Knowing
just
that win pretty much locks them in finals as well.
okay. Fair. Hawthorn, Saints, Marvel. At this point, the Saints start having that expectation. I think they're still good enough to beat Hawthorn at Marvel.
They should win, but that Eagles game is definitely a blip, right? It's a blip, but I think that blip is Carlton's second half of the year blip. It's
Right.
them starting to believe their own hype and going, fuck, we're good. Oh, shit. People expect us to win.
Okay.
Are Eagles good enough to hurt them? I think they are.
The chat are saying
Hawks,
mate.
Sam Mitchell, he's king. Long live the king.
All right.
Look at what it's going to do to the ladder.
Also, this is being real. This is not to do this to favor Carlton. Like, be real. But this would be a massive upset if it happened. Hawthorn. All right. Wait, so we've got Hawthorn winning 3 in a row? No. No. Get out of it. Sorry, I'm making the call on that.
We had the shock, I think, last round.
No, not having. They're not winning 3 in a row.
This is an intriguing game.
Richmond, Melbourne at the G.
When do they? Clary? How long's Clary out for? Because that's just like a mythical injury, isn't it?
Said 3. So
that should be here.
I would still tip Melbourne. Although Richmond, fuck. Yeah, JD, I know they do. So obviously we're not doing the margins, but yeah. I guess Melbourne. Maybe we can start putting some in if we feel like we need to, but how do you not tip Melbourne in this game?
Yeah, Melbourne. But I mean, then again, Dogs will do a late. I mean, Tigers will do a late surge, but I just don't think they've got it in them anymore.
True. And then Optus, West Coast. Are they going to win a game?
Nah, North will win this because
really?
I mean, it's the Harley Reid Cup.
Okay, fair. All right, North. So we get to round 21, and this is what it looks like.
This is fun.
This is so much fun. Oh, mate, I can't fucking wait. Can't wait. I'm so excited, man. I'm so excited. Dogs, Richmond, Marvel.
Marvel, though, innit? Yeah. Dogs should put that away.
Dogs.
I know it's hard because Richmond do look a shell of who they used to be.
Yeah.
So it's hard to get out of it.
So just like I want to try and catch us from being too silly. Are we going to say Richmond's going to lose 4 in a row? You know?
Good point.
And the Dogs are going to be winning 4 in a row. They won like the one before this as well.
Good point. I mean, they lost to Collingwood in recent times. They've lost to Collingwood. I mean, Dogs, though, they've lost to good sides, haven't they?
Yeah.
So Geelong, Port, Collingwood. And Richmond have lost. I mean, Richmond's form's pretty good. They've only lost 1 out of 5, and that was to Brisbane by 100 away.
So Richmond will lose to Melbourne. Okay, fair. Okay. Oh.
Tell you what, let's do Richmond. Late season flourish.
All right.
Dustin Martin winds back the clock.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Bombers, Eagles, Marvel. Bombers. Yeah. Adelaide, Suns in Adelaide. Is that just Adelaide easy done?
Yeah. Collingwood.
Port, Geelong, GMHBA. Port are one of the few teams that have done it over in Geelong consistently, but I think Geelong, is it safe? Are Geelong still that team in Geelong?
Yes and no. I think there's question marks on them, but I think Geelong, the experience in it at this stage, the experience is massive.
I feel like I should go back and tip Richmond in this game.
Yeah, go on.
And then, because who said it just here? Someone just said it. They're not very good at Marvel. Jack, you're 100% right. Okay. That's a bit better. GWS and the Swans at Giant Stadium.
Makes it interesting, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, surely Sydney finds something. I mean, their recent form is so hard, though. Like, they have that 200-point win. Then I mean, to be fair, though, they're up there with Geelong at the moment, Sydney. So Sydney should win that.
The chat are saying, yeah, a lot of Sydney, a couple of Giants. North Melbourne at Blundstone.
Demons.
Oh, mate, I'm telling you, I can't wait for this game.
Ul's 22.
I'm like, I'm looking ahead. I can't wait, mate. Some of them in their comments after they beat us early in the year, mate, I keep receipts. I'm petty like that. I can't wait. It's got my blood boiling.
Fremantle win this one.
Correct. I think so too. All right.
Because that would be the most Fremantle thing to do.
Yep. And I think this sounds about right. I don't think we're just going to like storm in. We're still ninth. We're just like hovering. So the storyline kind of makes sense.
Look at that. At this stage, two things will happen.
Right.
People will talk about percentage and be like, oh, if only they'd intercepted that Tom Lynch ball in round one.
So at this stage, the Swans have made a bit of a resurgence. So have the Bombers. Freo struggling, Suns struggling. So just be mindful of that. The Dogs flying, Melbourne flying. Okay. Collingwood, Geelong at the MCG. Is this just Collingwood?
They've lost 3 on our ladder. Port have lost 5. So that's about where they would. So I think Geelong will win. I mean, I think Collingwood will win this.
Okay. Bombers,
Essendon.
North at Marvel. Essendon. Swans, Suns, SCG. Now, keep in mind, the Suns, we are saying, have lost 4 in a row. So they've lost to Adelaide away. Fair. They've lost to the Lions at home. Okay. They've lost to the Giants away. Okay. And also, okay, so they lost 3 in a row. Surely.
At the SCG, the young side.
It is at the SCG.
But I think people overrate Gold Coast because they like them.
Fair.
But they're not that good.
Okay. All right. Swans.
This should be a ripper.
Oh, yep. This will be the Lions I'm leaning towards.
Lions, though, the Gabba, knowing that this pretty much gets them in to the top 4.
This is the other one I just don't have the minerals to tip us. I think of the 3 big top 4 teams that we play, Collingwood, Melbourne, Port, that's the order of most unlikely.
They have to steal one.
Yeah. Geelong in round 2 can't be the biggest upset of the year for Carlton, surely.
Oh, Terry. Come on, Pop.
All right. Freo.
Dogs. Oh, wait.
Hawthorn
University. Oh, yeah. Dogs.
Dogs.
Tigers.
Agreed, Rio. 100%. Tigers, Saints at Marvel.
I think people have been harsh to them about their record at Marvel. I think Richmond are a transitional side at the moment. I think they are going to be the side that fucks people towards the end of the year.
Yes, they will.
I watched Dusty the other night, and that's Dusty finding things from years gone by. They're going to be a dickhead side to play.
All right. So the Richmond. Wow. Port. All right. So, okay. Storyline evolves. A bit of a dip for us.
And that's about right as well, because I think Sydney they won't be shit all season.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have their moments.
Collingwood, Brisbane at Marvel on the Friday. Pies?
Yeah.
Richmond North at the MCG.
Richmond.
Blues. This is just huge.
Blues.
Are you that yeah?
Blues.
Levi Caswell retiring.
Come on, people. Like, look, they're good at contested ball. That's it. Dog shit side, Gold Coast. You offended me when you were always saying danger game against Gold Coast this year. They are bad. Carlton by a lot.
All right.
Blues! Come on, boys!
Giants, Essendon at Giant Stadium. That's a low-key big game.
Kingsley to make a statement versus Scott, two combative sides. Essendon shitting themselves. Giants.
Ugh.
Giants win.
Really?
Well, they've won 4 in a row.
So true. The Bombers would be due for a bit of a loss. Okay, and all right, fair. I'm with you. I'll take that. Saints, Geelong at Marvel. I actually think the Saints can win this.
Oh, when the Saints.
Because I'm trying to keep in mind that the ups and downs will come. Like right now, look at this. We've got
Geelong off the back of a loss, though, Terry.
Geelong off the back of a loss. You're right. Geelong off the back of a loss.
Danger. Invoking shades of Jog Selwood. Ross the boss, suddenly no longer the talk of the town. The pressure's coming. One-dimensional coaching. Chris Scott willing to adapt. Danger bursting through stoppage. Geelong win.
What did the chat say? The chat say, so 1-1, 2-2, 3-2.
Chat,
far, the chat are saying the Saints.
Chat. Put down your Liam Stocker love. Geelong are just a conveyor belt of finals, mate. They'll look at St Kilda and go, who's that melt playing back pocket? They'll be like, oh, that's Liam Stocker. He does a lot of podcasts. Danger will be like, oh, I'll kick 8. Cheers.
All right.
Cameron, baby. Cal Wilkie stopping Cameron. Not happening.
Okay. Adelaide, Sydney at Adelaide Oval.
Adelaide. Rankine. By this stage, Rankine and Rochelle will be like finals. Their celebrations.
Do we not think the Crows will, because they've got some young stars in there, they'll start to wither away a little bit?
Now, Rankine and Rochelle, it's like they'll be doing proper celebrations. It'll be like the NBA at this stage. Right. They'll be amped.
All right. I'm going to go Dogs to beat the Eagles, D's to beat the Hawks, and Freo to beat Port.
No, I think Port will win this.
Okay.
I think Freo have had their win. They had their 2 wins we gave them.
Freo. Okay, that's true. Then we get to round 24.
Oh, here we are. Come on, Blues. This is the most. This is how the scenario. Just so everyone knows, my scenario is Carlton are here and they lose to GWS.
Really?
Yeah, that I can't get the thought out of my head that Carlton probably beat Port or Melbourne. They win one of the games we think they lose and they fuck it up. But I do think everything else goes our way and we limp in. But this would be the most Carlton thing, wouldn't it? Right now, a win here, Terry, gets you in. Marvel Stadium. It'll probably be on a Sunday.
Lek Dog makes a good point. Saints aren't losing the last 4 games of the season.
Lek Dog's a Ross fanboy. I love Lek Dog. But come on, Lek Dog. Who are they beating?
Richmond.
Ah, come on.
Yeah. Good call.
Lek Dog. Lek Dog's theory there. Anyone who's thinking that is trying to stop Carlton playing finals, 1 and 2, right? 2, they're forgetting Carlton 8 and 2. You're basing St Kilda on a combative game style that no one knew about, and now everyone knows about it. They're being pulled apart.
First question. When do you think they will schedule this game? I think they'll put it on a Sunday at 1:10 or 3:20. I think this is a Sunday game. It's got it written all over it.
Should be. Knowing the AFL, looking at them fixtures, that's a primetime game, and it's Saturday night, 7:00.
But I think for the theatre of it all, they'll put it on a Sunday.
Blues win, baby. Marvel. Giants.
It's at Marvel. Yep. The Bombers and the Pies at the MCG.
Bombers. Let's say at this stage, minor premiership wrapped up, Geelong shelve the players.
Okay. Geelong, Dogs, GMHBA. I think this is Geelong.
Yeah.
At this point in the year, like at the end of the year, yeah. And they'll get themselves slip into a home elimination final. That actually sounds about right, considering how their season's gone. Hawthorn, Freo with the MCG. Freo?
Yeah.
Okay.
New coach gets his first win. Suns.
Swans, D's, SCG.
Sydney.
Yeah?
But it doesn't really affect the ladder anyway.
Doesn't really. Well, Melbourne will be playing for a top 2.
Buddy's last game at the SCG.
Buddy's last game at the SCG, mate, he looked... Yeah, okay, the D's. Port at home.
Yeah, Adelaide.
Rio, you know it, mate. I was just 1 year too early. And then the Crows. Yeah, I think that's fair as well. I think at the end, we have Collingwood, Port, Melbourne, Brisbane as the top 4 teams. Adelaide showed a bit and then just fell away slightly, but still 5th is great. The Dogs... Oh, mate.
Look at that. Look. No, Essendon as well. Imagine it. Essendon as well. Oh, fuck. The watch along would be pumping. Oh, Terry. Imagine that. Adelaide as well. AO. Carlton go over to AO.
Finals is a different ball game.
Yeah. I will say this, and I know no one in chat will agree with me. Someone will try and be clever and go, oh, Nerbs. Bollocks. Charlie Curnow, finals player. Cripps, all about himself. Loves the limelight. Cripps, finals player. Right? Chera, finals player. Right? Walsh, finals. Like, I would say, if I look at AO, Adelaide side, Rankine and Rochelle are finals players. That's it. Carlton, I think we've got 5 or 6. I actually reckon it's been so painful, they'll burst.
I mean, the way that this is played out, obviously we've done the 8 and 2. So we'd be full of confidence. But one thing I remember with Carlton, like with the previous group, you know, Murphy, Judd, Cruiser, when they eventually made finals, we lost the first 2. We lost to Brisbane away. Bradshaw, the snap, never forget it. Absolute pain. And then we lost to Sydney the year after that. We started that game so well. That was Mark Murphy's like breakout. I think he really broke out. And then we lost that elimination final. Then the third chance we beat Essendon, obviously, in that elimination final.
Mate, people can convince themselves. At this stage, Carlton win this game. I'm telling you. If Carlton play Adelaide, mark my words, we win. Because it's all these boys need a narrative. Because all the fans will be like, "Oh, Adelaide! Oh, it's a tough crowd. Oh, we're scared because they'll use bad language in front of my kids." Charlie Kerner will take the piss on a nighttime final game. Take the piss. Who's stopping him? Barat. Do you know what I mean? Who's stopping him? Do you know what I mean? They'll be too busy trying to sign Barras.
True.
Charlie kicks 12, Carlton win by a lot.
All right.
Rankine and Rochelle crying. Cripps doing that.
Anyway, that's the formula. Wait, let's chill for a sec before we get to categories. Yeah, we've played a game. That was fun. That was good. Yeah. What's on your mind, Pom? Guys, I'm going to open the floor up. What would you like to talk about? Or we can just go straight to the categories game, the higher or lower game.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I think I can't wait for tomorrow. I'm just excited about the Freo game.
Yeah, me too. What do you think about the ruck situation? I don't think it's as bad. I mean, I think it seems worse than what it actually is going to be.
Well, I mean, that's the big criticism, I think. I think a lot of people only watch Carlton games, but if you watch Fremantle, the big issue with Fremantle is they've probably got the best ruck duo in the comp. Like, people talk about Grundy and Gawn. I think statistically it is one of the more successful ones, and they don't win any dominance out stoppage and clearance. And so they're going to be doing what they always do, winning hit outs, limiting opposition's clearances. Our strength last year, ironically, was our percentage of opposition hit outs, which you saw last week. So I think it's a big thing. Don't get me wrong, but for a couple of weeks, the boys are more than capable of doing this.
Yeah. If they bring that mental application from the previous two games, I give us a good chance. And the one thing they've shown in the last few games is that willingness to overlap with our running, and our handball game seems to be there as well. So it's good to be excited again, not going to lie. Because it was Death Star 4 weeks ago. It was like, oh, what are they going to dish up now? And I hope they don't put in a performance tomorrow that brings us back to that level, but it's exciting. I'm really excited for tomorrow. I'm pumped for all of it.
Oh, at this stage, do you know what I mean? This side is good enough. It always has been. And I actually prefer it with no rucks, because I think they've got to work hard. They've got to work together. They know they're not going to be able to. I think sometimes we hide behind Pitternet.
Sorry, Chills, you asked this earlier. Terry, is there a dedicated MRO/tribunal channel on YouTube? I know the boys touch on it on the rest. I personally haven't seen one, but would enjoy it if there were such a show. I'm more than happy to provide that.
MRO
if you want it, yeah. If that's what you guys want, send in anytime you have any ideas, guys. Send it in. If you have any suggestions. Oh, that's right.
I hope. Jog Terry's mind.
Yeah. Talk amongst yourselves for a moment.
Lemon Pop. I'm excited to see us thrash Freo a Lemon Pop. I love that. Luca, I think it's a great comment, mate. Was our football better without Pitternet? I just think sometimes you are playing one down with Pitternet, as much as I love him. And the fact that Carlton will rank 17th from scores from stoppage and centre clearances, but ranking number 1 at getting hands first to the ball, I think says it all this year. That was a stat which was one of my big complaints about the team. which I think they struggle to get it. They struggle to do stuff with it this week and last week. They had to do something with it. If they kept it there for too long, Pitternet wasn't there. So, no, I'm with you. I don't mind it. I think you can play with Pitternet, though, but I just think ideally it's Pitternet and a very mobile auxiliary ruckman, which TDK, up until Gold Coast, didn't do it.
Yeah, fair. Any of you have, if any of you here have not completed the survey, it's pinned to the top of the live chat on Monday. This gets drawn out. Someone's taking this home on Monday. So if you haven't completed it, fill it out, and then you go into the draw on Monday. Yes, I will dust it off before I send it.
Can I just say, this is the best work from Bugs Bell. That's clever.
Can't mark Pitternet. Oh, very clever. Okay, let's have a look. What questions do you guys have? Old fan cams. You want to watch old fan cams? Which one? Just let us know. Nick Dacos. Has there been a better player at his age in our lifetime? I say no. Yeah, he's pretty fucking good. No, he's the real deal. He's the real deal.
The Real Deal.
Yeah.
We're ready.
What else have we got? Chills.
There was someone in the comments on Teams, I can't remember if Let Dogs in the chat, and they literally were having a crack at Carlton's development, and they used Nick Dacos as the simile. And I'm like, I said it at the time, and I'll say it again. Nick Dacos is the best kid I've ever seen come through the draft. Like, in his draft year, had no weaknesses. And I'm like, you can't compare our development of shitty pick 38s with Nick Dacos. If they were all Nick Dacos, it would be brilliant.
It's true. How did the surveys go? Yeah, it went well. We have 694 responses, so really well. Got a lot of good information. Got a lot of good data. What do we got? Rowan is getting back in the studio on the cards. Well, this is the studio right here. There might be a little bit of a change up with it, but getting into a studio is definitely something down the track. I think is a move. But for now, this is right here. This is Blue Abroad HQ. Any other questions? What have we got? What have we got? Sandy. Pom, if we win this week, look out. There's confidence is building, and we may start to see the first half of last year again. Mate, if it's a big if, but if there is a resurgence, life's going to be so much fun.
This is what they've got to do. They've just got to win. Like, I mean, I know it sounds simple, but just win. Happy days. Do you know what I mean? And that's all. If they do win this game, it's all in their favour because it makes a free hit against Port. It's a free hit then versus Port if they win this. And I think we said that against, what's it called? Doggies last year because they beat Richmond. It's a free hit. And this side likes free hits.
True. Question. I'm actually going to put a poll up on YouTube. I'm curious to see where you all sit with this. Right? Stand by. Start a poll. Will TDK stay?
Dun, 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 dun.
I just put a poll up on YouTube in the live chat. I want to see where you're at. There's 109 of you watching right now. So hit the live chat and tick one of them. I want to see Sandy back, book a studio at the CFC, make an arrangement with the club to interview current and past players. That would be lovely, but I don't think the club would do it. Actually, I know they won't do it, which is what it is.
Round 20, TDK signs 2 years, 500K. Resigns.
I like that theory. 2-year deal, get him to free agency, and then he goes again. For whatever it's worth, I will vote that he stays. I'm with you. I think he'll stay. I mean, what do you mean? How are you leaving? It's about to just happen. Like, what do you mean you're leaving? It's about to burst.
I think you'll get a few contract signings. I think that's what they did wrong last year as well.
Right.
There was a lot of deals early. I think they needed to inject some bollocks into the side. I think that's what we missed. We missed PR in that back end of the year. I feel like the club should have tried to create some something. I think they'll learn the lesson.
Fair. So 32 votes. There's 119 of you watching and 32 of you voted. So I just want to get a pulse on what we think will happen. So 59% think he'll stay. 41% think he will leave. I think he'll stay. All right, what do we got? Do you think Gresham would be a good asset? I feel like it's either Gresham or Fisher on the list. That's what I feel. Pom?
I don't see it. A guy that has one good game in every 10 who looks good, but is in reality dog shit. I couldn't think of a worse player to sign. Like, I actually vomited in my mouth when I saw the actual link. I was like, I thought we'd moved on for these players that look good.
Yeah.
Horrible. Speak to a St Kilda fan after the show. They talk about him like you guys talk about Plowman.
Yeah,
that's
true.
thinking.
True. Oh, I realized something as well. I did a little... actually, I'm going to put it up in this chat. I did a podcast the other day with, I think it's called The Purple Rain.
Rain.
And I didn't know this, right? But from the Fremantle point of view, they look at Ed Curnow as that guy that always plays well against them, which is really interesting insight because obviously for us, Ed Curnow gets named, everyone loses their marbles. But for them, they are petrified of Ed Curnow because apparently he just always plays well against them from the Freo side of things. So, yeah, I'm going to play you a little clip here. It's just loading. The chat was going well, and then the Jacob Wiedering slander began, and I wasn't having it. So this is how it went down. I hope you can hear this.
Even involved in the draft, then it becomes even a bigger problem. And then, everyone's got a PhD in hindsight and some of the picks, and you're just like, oh man, like it's just, you get unlucky, don't you? And even things like as great as Wiedering is, getting a centre half back or a full back as your number one pick, it's not really any value in that either. Like people
would you have taken?
I don't even know who else was in that draft. That's the thing. I mean,
I wasn't having that. I was not having that.
Fucking hell, when you've got Brennan Cox as one of your top defenders down the back and you're dropping shade on Wheaters. Fuck me.
Wasn't having that. And I gave him that'd be about right. Couldn't tell me who was drafted, but that'd be about right. No, it was very good. Very good. Very gracious of him to call me on. Rio, do you think Favola or Eddie Betts in our forward line, we would be a grand final team and Judd as the leader? Nah. We had them. We had them all. They couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. Fev couldn't behave himself. Would have loved to have seen what Eddie Betts would have done had he stayed, but nah, I don't think so.
Jay Gresham, fuck me, chat. Come on.
Gresham.
It's way too early to be linked with. Come on, that guy's got an injury record that probably rivals half of our list. Like break Jay Gresham down as a footballer, chat. Just think about it. He probably is on his day better than other players we've got on our list, but he's already on a fair whack at St Kilda. He's going to be wanting a pay rise. And if you want to pay 500, 600, 700K for a guy that He's one of them players that looks good. That actually watch Jade Gresham. Go back and watch him in their losses. That's when you'll see a real player. That guy is. I'd rather have Fisher. No offense, Terry.
Fair. Rowan says he feels Fev would have had more support from the club. I don't know. I feel like he had all the support in the club. I feel like he was almost given too much. I think. I just think he wasn't professional enough at the time. He was a super talent, but the way the game is now, you have to be a lot more than just a talented footballer. You have to be able to do it off the field as well as on the field. I'm not sure about that, but I get what you're saying. Do you feel like the club didn't support him? Maybe share some context. Belgian Blue. Pommy, who are we looking at draft-wise this season? I think you mentioned a few names the other day.
We've only just begun. Right, let me bring my draft stuff up, chat, because I love you. Right, I would say Nate Caddy is one of my favourites. I wouldn't be surprised Carlton maybe take a sniff at someone like Daniel Curtin, who has played just all around the ground. He's like the new Brodie Kemper this draft, but if JSOS leaves, they may look at Daniel Curtin being the guy who is actually elite in various categories. And then outside of that, I could see second rounders being massive. So look at players like Tholstrop out in Subiaco. He looks a real live wire. Ashton Moore is one of my favourite players in this draft. So a few, but I do think Nate Caddy and Daniel Curtin will be our first rounder. Lock that in.
Interesting. All right. Rowan, the club did support him. I just think the club's support is bottomless these days. If a player is good enough, there's good examples in the league. Yeah, fair point. I don't know. I just lean towards a bit more accountability from the players themselves. Like they're in control of their careers. And if we have players who are going to be relying on the club to provide all the support and all the instruction and everything that they need, then I just think that's a recipe for unaccountability, which is, I think, what we got from Fev in some regards. And I love Fev. We all love Fev. But there's a second layer to being in the league and being a professional athlete, I guess. You got to be able to do it off the field, and not to be perfect off the field, because I'm sure that there's a lot of them that make mistakes. But yeah, it was what it was. I think us letting him get away with what we let him get away with and not having the standards is probably what came to bite us in the ass, which is probably why we ended up getting Juddy into the club as well. Like, we needed someone not only who was a great player, but also somebody who came from winning culture and knew how to set standards. So yeah, it's an interesting one, and it's always going to be a great debate with Fev. All right, we've got one more little game to play, Pommy. We're going to do it. Categories, baby. All right, guys. Last week was putrid. Let's be accountable. We were terrible. We were awful collectively, and we need to be better today. Our highest score last week was 2, and 2 of those answers were Tony Lockett.
Hey, last week was literally the West Coast game for Carlton.
Yeah. So we need to be better. So the way this goes is 2 players will come on the screen, and we have to pick who kicked more goals in their career.
Spider!
We had Spider last week, didn't we?
We did, yeah. And from memory, it wasn't like very good.
No.
But I mean, yeah, it's one of them things, isn't it?
I'm going to go with Neats.
I think we've had Neats like 100 times as well, because he was a swingman, wasn't
he? Yeah. There we go.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
We're on the board. Peter McKenna. McKenna by virtue of the fact that it's a black and white photo, right?
I'm pretty sure he's got like a goal-kicking record, doesn't he? Won it? I'm sure.
Well, 631 is a really solid... Wait, let's just wait for Kenna. Only one person has said McKenna. Oof. Okay. Now I'm questioning. No, I'm sure it's McKenna.
Terry, I don't know why you're using the chart. You never trust the chart.
Yeah, I know that's.
I mean, it was
Okay.
straight away I said McKenna. I was like, I'm sure I've seen.
Yeah. Ooh. Oh, I think Sticks is in the 800s. Oh, I don't know. I actually
I
don't
reckon
know.
that's going to be. It's going to be close.
I think Sticks is one ahead. I think it's 875 that he has.
It's going to be close, isn't it? You notice Sticks looks identical to he does now in that photo, just with a little bit of grey hair. So 874. I'm sure McKenna's like top 3. Like
Okay.
that's how I
Wood
knew it was
says
him. And I
McKenna.
can't remember seeing Sticks above him, but
All right. Oh, it's tough. I'm going to trust Ur, the Godfather. Oh, he doesn't let us down.
has
Okay,
to be Sticks.
this will be Sticks, no problem.
317's tasty to play with.
Lynch kicked more than 317. Surely he was a
Had a longer
really-
career as well from starting from the same pat a year out. Has to. Like Pom Logic. Never heard of Cresswell.
Okay, we're on 6. Oof, Scotty Cummings. Feel like he kicked more than 200 goals. Yeah. All right, we're on here. I will probably
lead
need
singer
help.
of Rage Against the Machine.
Johnny Platten.
Yeah, look at him. He looks like Zach De La Rocha.
Scott Cummings, John Platten. I know Platten was like a midfielder for Hawthorn. That's how I know him.
He looks like every plumber that's ever come round to my house, John Plan.
All right, Scotty Cummings. This is
look at
so
this.
much better. Look at us. Ooh,
Horse.
horse, easy.
No, I'm just. Oh, okay.
Schwartz. He was a
I'm
good.
sure we've had Schwartz before, and I'm from memory. I think he deceived us, so I actually think it's lower because I think we had him like on a real low amount, and it was lower than we actually thought.
Okay.
But
Schwartz. Yeah, because I get Schwartz mixed up with Neitz. Neitz was the goal kicker, I think. 511 goals that's a solid amount of goals in the career.
Yeah, you're talking decent margins. See?
Yeah, very good, Tom. Yeah, great memory. Great memory.
Got to be clokey, on it.
Yeah, I think he was at like above 300. Yeah, okay, great. Oh, nah, it's Cloak.
Nathan Brown did. You know what? Historically, and I could be wrong, I don't look at Nathan Brown and think goal kicker. But I could be wrong. It's before my time. It's got to be close.
It's close. It's got to be. Yeah, okay. I have no idea who Alan Ezard is. Looks like a halfback flanker from this photo.
He looks. He's got Backman vibes, hasn't he?
Yeah.
You watch him kick at 2000.
Yeah,
See, there we are.
Very well. We worked out very well. Vossi.
Was Vossi regarded as a goal kicking mid? Like I've never heard anyone say in chat about Vossi. Fucking some of the goals he kicked, Pop.
I know that he had a few good games where he kicked like 5 as a midfielder. I think he kicked more than. So wait, Alan Ezard played 10 years. Voss played 14. Did Voss kick over 200 goals in his career?
Well, 14 is what? 18 goals a year? It's not that hard from mid.
Let's go Voss.
I say that. I say that it's not that hard, and
Yeah.
we'd kill for 18 goals from our midfielder. Yeah, I was gonna say I remember Simon was single digits.
Oh, we'll let the chat do this one. The Dominator. I mean, he's definitely kicked more than 3 goals in his career, right?
He fucking has to. I mean, if he hasn't, how have you got a nickname?
Do you know when I speak to people who grew up with Carlton, he is the most common name that they all say, like the first name that they say. And
Yeah.
apparently it's just because when it came to finals, he actually found like a serious gear. I don't remember. I never watched him play. But every single one of the people that I speak to mention this guy's name. If he's not the first name, he's the second or third. So
No, I agree. He gets banded around. 283 is tasty as well.
Godra.
I mean,
feel like
if your nickname's Godra, you better have kicked more than 250. Are they?
I feel like if you started watching the footy in the 90s, you probably might have been an Adelaide fan because Godra was good.
Hey, mate, it's very like the north of England, Adelaide.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Drew
fuck, Drew Petrie, what a player. That guy had a chin that can open a can of beans.
What?
Look at it. Look how pointy it is. Why'd your bean tin open with that?
He kicked a lot of goals, Petrie, but I don't think he kicked more than 681.
Yeah, if it's a black and white photo and we can't see your face, you already win this game. I know the cheat code.
Ooh, I'm gonna say
Has to be Petrie.
Drew. Yeah. All right, we're closing. We're not closing in. Let's just calm down. Nick Holland and Leon Davis. Oh,
there's some famous Leon Davis goals, isn't there? That knock around.
Yeah, this is interesting because he.
So it's one of them ones that makes it hard because you know the other guy's goal kicking prowess because he's kicked some big goals.
Yeah.
I'd say Leon. He looks like a goal kicker. He looks like he retired with 300.
Okay. Oh, well done. Very well done. Brett Burton. He took Mark of the Year against Carlton in 2000 and I'm going to say 09 or 10. An absolute screamer at Marvel Stadium.
Looks like Postman Pat. What position did he play then? So he took Mark of the Year. Was he a forward?
I feel like he played halfback flank, also played as like a half forward as well.
I mean,
is that right, chat? I feel like he played a bit of both.
It's not a lot, is it? If you look at Leon Davis, it's not a lot of goals. So, I mean, this is genuinely one of them ones that when we play this, 270 is good, but when you've mentioned back half of the ground, that worries me because today's game, no one down back kicks goals.
Yeah. All right. We'll go Neon.
Oh, look at that.
That's good. Very good. Peter German. I have no idea who that is, but he does not look like a footballer.
Is that the dude from Dumb and Dumber?
Lloyd?
Yeah. What the fuck's going on there? What's going on with that? I have never seen a professional athlete in my life have a bowl cut. How poor was Australian sport financially to still have guys running around with bowl cuts?
I'm not sure, but I've got no idea who he is. This is really tough.
I can't click him because of his surname anyway.
North Melbourne in the 80s and early 90s. Well, he played for North. Okay, so we say that. So they were not very good until the late 90s. I feel like Peter German's a backman name. Does anybody know what position Peter German played?
There's a lot of things that surname is a simile to, but yeah, oh mate. I mean, you'd imagine you'd have ruthless efficiency, which like you only got to look at German cars. You know
well, look at this. Bugs Bell. Peter German once asked my mum out on a date.
And she said, Not with that haircut. No, sorry, mate.
So, A, did she say yes or no? B, what position did he play on the field? Sandy is saying that he was a North Melbourne midfielder.
Peter German. What an unfortunate surname.
Good point here. He wasn't taking big amounts of goals off Carey and Longmire. Okay. He was
Has
a
to be
wing.
Burton.
Wildy knows for sure he was wing. Okay. It's Burton. Very good. Ooh.
It's when he does the 9.
Oh, Scott Welsh.
Has to be Scott Welsh because I've heard
Has to
of
be
him.
Scott Welsh. Yeah, well done.
Bye, Peter.
I
Is
have
that
no
Ron
clue.
Burgundy?
It's actually pretty good. I've got no idea who Stephen Wright is or was. He looks like he's in a contest. Looks like a midfielder. I think
Looks
I'm
like
going
he's
to
playing
go
for
Scott.
South Melbourne.
Yep. 79 to 92. So he had a pretty long stint. I'm going to go Welsh.
The 300 is the tough one.
How's the gift? How's the gift?
Where are we up to now?
We're on
35's
26.
the high score.
The high score is 35, guys. So
Dunstall.
let this be it. But again, we can't look at the outcome. We have to just focus on the process.
Getting Carlton. 300's that horrible number. Because it's got to be someone you know.
Gale, I feel like Gale kicked more than 300 goals. Wait,
11-year career versus a long career.
True.
However, though, like, I suppose, but it's a decent amount, isn't it? 300, to be fair, from Shane, because he wasn't a notorious goal kicker, was he?
He played a bit of back as well, Sean. That's a pretty good record. With
Yeah,
goals.
that's what I mean. Like I wouldn't have guessed that. If you'd said how many goals did the Silk one kick, I would have said 200 max. But 300 over what? 11 years. That's what? 30 goals a game. I mean, 30 goals a year.
30 goals a year. Sean kicked more. All right.
Was Gale the Matty Wright of Richmond? You've got to ask yourself.
So 90 to 2001. So they're not very good. We know that. Richo was playing.
I feel like that's a lot of goals for Richmond to kick in that period when they were shit. But also they had some pretty good goal kickers, didn't they, at that time?
Okay. I'm going to go with Sean Burgoyne in 3, 2, 1. Well done, chat.
Yes.
Well done. Chris Lewis looks like a small forward-ish. Looks like he's having a shot on goal. Played 13 years. So West Coast's inception in the league. I don't know if he played at West Coast the whole time. I've never actually seen him in my life.
He does look like that guy you can see running in from half forward, kicking a goal, hair bouncing.
Yep. Lewis was what was Lewis? Well, he says he was a mid forward. Lewis.
You know what?
Nick Webb's in the chat. Love to see it.
Based on his hair, it has to be Lewis.
All right, I'm going to go for it.
Come on!
Come on. Johnny Coleman, a gift.
They they named a medal after him. It's not called the Chris Lewis one.
Oh.
This was the one that...
Yeah.
Was it Brereton where we underestimated how many goals he kicked?
Fuck.
It was either him or Dunstall, but we really underestimated how many goals he kicked.
I think we overestimated Brereton's goals. I feel like he's in the 400s. No, that doesn't make sense. No, that doesn't make sense.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure we thought he was like 700 and it fucked us and he was like 501 or something.
I think it's Coleman. It's Coleman.
I mean, it's not called the Brereton medal, is it?
True. It's Coleman.
You watch Brereton 982.
Oh,
Oh,
the
there we are.
boys. The boys.
South Rocker. Let him.
This is actually when he was teaching Levi Casbolt how to kick.
Well done, John. 464. You nailed it.
John, mate, nailed it. Now, Severio Rocker or Dermy? Oh,
14-year career. He's got to average 40.6 goals a year.
John Holden says that Severio is at 700 plus. That is big. Wow.
Wait, he got Casbolt kicking fairly okay, so he must know what he's doing.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Oh dear, that's a horrible one, isn't it?
Far out. 16-year career. I feel like they wouldn't be too far away from each other on the all-time.
Did Nick Rewalt get 700 just like 3 games before he retired?
Potentially.
I know he got his 700th because I remember it, but it was like literally as he was retiring.
I'm going to go with Sav because we're playing the Saints at Marvel in a few weeks and I just can't wait. Oh. Hey, we're 2 away. Revolt kicked more than Dacos. Is that just...
Yeah. I would have said would have said that.
I'm going to go for it. Oh, all right, let's go. Come on.
You know what? That's the worst one as well, 550, because it's right in the middle.
Of course.
TD.
As we try and eclipse. Yeah, TD. Oh, true. TD. I don't know.
14 years.
I don't know. Terry Danaher.
This is my theory, and I could be totally wrong, but Peter Dacos is talked about now in his own entity. But Terry Danaher is just related to Neil Danaher. I mean, related to Joe Danaher.
Right. So John says that TD was more of a centre-half back.
Yeah, I was going to say, so like Dacos is revered as his legend himself, where like Danaher is just the dad of Joe.
Yes. All right.
That's my theory. I'd imagine you would have kicked a lot more goals.
Here we go. Okay. For the record, this is great.
That is the most 1930s haircut I've ever seen.
Norm Smith, 15 years. It's Norm Smith, right? It's Norm Smith.
It has to be. It has to be. If he played more of a centre-half back in his back of his career, Norm Smith must have. It was pre-war. Like,
all right,
fullback's got 50 a year.
I'm going for it. Yes. All right, we have a new record. Now we're just going to set it. A gift. Why have they got Gary Ablett as a statue?
I was going to say, why is it Anthony Hopkins? What's going on? That's scary. That's terrifying.
Yeah, Ablett over Riccardi. Oh, look at this, mate. A few gifts just handed out. Rowan Smith doesn't have a photo, so by virtue of that, you would think it's Peter Riccardi. Rowan Smith, I feel like he was a half forward.
I haven't got a Scooby here. The no picture is throwing me
throwing me off. Yeah.
I'm like, is Rowan Smith like a cult hero here with 300 goals?
Rowan Smith was a midfielder. He was. Okay, yeah, he was. You're right. Why is there no photo of Rowan Smith? He was a good player. Yeah, he was.
Robbed.
Oh, I'm going to go with Riccardi.
Robbed. Rowan Smith, robbed. If you're watching, Rowan, sorry.
Oh, wow, very close. Okay.
From memory, Stephen had an obscene amount of goals as well for a fullback.
Yeah, I don't remember how well of a goal kicker he was early, but I know he wasn't. I think he's in the 200s though, Sauce. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure he's in the 200s. We're not losing. Steve Silvani's not losing to a guy with no photo. Right?
Surely not.
Is it? Oh, hang on. Chat's a bit split here. So
I think it's a lot more than we thought. And I do remember we played that guy who had 3.
Sauce kicked 10 one day. Oh, Peter
Yeah.
V.
But did he do it 10 times 20?
Oh, wow. No, these people that are he's kicked 10 a couple of times. Okay.
Chat are all saying Smith, and even as a wind up, they wouldn't go against Sauce.
No, I trust a lot of the names that I see here. Oh, love it. Love it.
Can we get to 50?
Easy.
Goodsy, surely.
Easy. This guy looks like he's. Never mind.
Seen a few movies with people
Yeah.
who look like this.
That's exactly where my mind went.
I'll say it. My rep. Surely this is Goodsy.
You would think so. If you're posing for a photo like that, you are not a goal kicker. You're in the wrong industry, Arnold.
Jesus.
It's like Paul van der Haar. Oh,
What
gosh.
the fuck is Audi Nat 5 doing here?
True. LD Nat 5.
It's like if you went to a lookalike place for a Nat 5, that's what they'd send.
I don't know
13
who
year
either
career.
of these people are. Dutchy? Is that
13 years versus 11. When you say Dutchy, I'm assuming you mean Paul van der Haar.
Paul van der Haar? I'm with John on this. I feel like John's got a real pulse on what's going on.
Yeah, I feel like the guy with the Dutch name looks like he's a goalkeeper. He looks like a man that kicks 8 goals and then just smokes durries and drinks VB. And that's what you'd have to be an elite goal kicker in the 80s.
Huntsman says Breeders has one more goal kicked.
Like Arnold looks like the type of guy that was the first guy that ever got soy milk imported into Australia. Right? Paul looks like a proper 80s goal kicker who would kick 8, smack a can of beer open on his head, neck it, proper forward.
All right.
Oh!
Huntsman was trying to help.
How the fuck is it 1?
The game is just, it's a great game. It's a great game.
Oh, 42.
That was fun. Huntsman, you have earned my trust. I'll back you in next week.
Huntsman, we love you.
Was that our first go as well? That was.
Yeah.
42. That's a pretty good effort. 42 is a pretty good effort.
I'm broken.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That has been BA Saturdays. So much fun. Pommy, tomorrow, 4:30 p.m. Watch along, right?
Yep. We will be live singing and getting ready for a 42-point win as JG TV Shorts. Maybe that's the sign.
All right. Ladies and gents, thanks for being here. Hope you enjoyed that. If you have any ideas for the BA Saturdays, it's the whole point of it is to be really just organic and just fun. So if you have any ideas, send them throughout the week and we'll do whatever we do. Have a good one, guys. Go Blues.
Go Blues.